Say hi.
I can't hurt you, Delise. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't hurt you. Hi guys, it's Delise and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you all about my piercings. I feel like, and maybe this is going to sound silly or maybe some of you will understand, but for me, some of my piercings sort of have the same significance that I imagine some people's tattoos have. And that's just because I've gotten a lot of them for very specific reasons and at very pivotal times in my life. And so I thought that maybe you'd find it interesting finding out how I got them, why I got them, and what they all mean to me. So, like most girls, my very first piercings were these, my just two regular ear piercings. I remember, I think I was either 3 or 4. I should ask my mom. Let me text her. Okay. And as always, if you hear somebody walking in the background, sorry, that's my pig Samson. So I remember specifically asking my mom for earrings when I was a toddler. And there was just something about earrings. I don't even really remember why I fell in love with them. All of the women in my family had their ears pierced for the most part, and I just thought that they were fun. I thought that they were beautiful. So I would ask my mom for them all the time, to the point where she used to buy me stick-on earrings. Do you guys remember those? The stick-on earrings are like these little stickers that are usually puffed up a little bit, and they come in all these crazy shapes, and they basically look like stickers, but they're for your ears. So I would wear those every single day. I remember just going to the grocery store and my mom buying stick-on earrings for me with the groceries, just like as a normal thing that she got all the time, and me putting on my clothes in the morning and picking out my earrings and putting on my stick-on earrings. Stick-on earrings were my thing. And she told me, and like I said, I hope she texts me back, because she told me that I could get my ears pierced when I turned, and I think it was 4. And so I was counting down the days, looking forward to getting my ears pierced. And if my aunt is watching this, she knows probably more about this day than I do, because she and my mom took me to go get it done. Pretty sure we went to JCPenney's, and that's when they had the jewelry counter. So I remember walking in, and they only pierced your ears one at a time. And so I don't know why they didn't just put 2 people on me, but the lady laid me down almost like what you would do at the doctor's office. And I remember she pierced one of my ears, and my mom did what she could to prepare me for the pain. I mean, I remember her trying to tell me, okay, Delise, you know, this is really gonna hurt. I'm pretty sure she said, if you want this done, you have to get them both. You can't just get one and stop. I remember just telling her, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, because I wanted them so badly. But after they did that first one, oh my gosh, it hurt so badly. Like, I can still remember it. They basically had to hold me down to get them to do the other one. So those are my first 2 piercings, an extremely traumatic experience. Then when I turned, I think it was 16, I wanted to get my second piercing, and all the women in my family have a second piercing, and so that was kind of like a rite of passage in my mind. I think I went to Claire's and I got that one done. For me, the significance wasn't just that all the women in my family had them, but there's also a passage in the Bible, I believe it's in Deuteronomy, where they speak of something called an awl, that is spelled A-W-L. So the awl comes up 2 times mainly, once in Exodus 21 and once again in Deuteronomy 15. And basically the concept is that there's a master and he has a slave or an indentured servant, and the slave has agreed to work for the master for a certain period of time, 7 years usually. Then after that period of time, there's an evaluation, and the slave can choose to go free. But if he loves his master and he's found that his master has treated him well, he likes staying with him, he'll decide that he wants to stay, and in order to signify to everyone around, they're gonna take what they call an awl, A-W-L, which is this big, it looks basically like a huge nail peg and they drive it through the person's ear. And so that signifies to everyone by leaving that big hole that the slave loves his master, he's gonna stay with his master, and he belongs to him for life. So I read that and it just really stuck with me, and so I thought, okay, I think when I get this second piercing, I want that to mean that for me and the Lord, because I've been walking with Jesus for a while, and I was kind of past the age where I decided whether or not I was gonna stick with him, if that makes sense. You know, when you first walk with Jesus and you first decide to become a Christian, it's a pretty easy choice. But then there are things that happen in your life, or just situations where you find out that it's gonna cost you something, it's gonna cost you everything. And I had already been through a couple situations where I realized how much following Christ was gonna cost me, but I decided that it was worth it. And so I wanted my second piercing to signify that. So I just had like a little silver stud, and that was piercing number 2. I think she just texted me back. Let's see. She says 4 maybe, and then I think she spoke. Oh, that was an accident. So she says 4 maybe. I think it was 4 too, so we're gonna stick with 4 when I got my first holes. Okay, then, let's see. The next piercing I got was, my cartilage. Okay, so one of my best friends at the time and I decided one day when we were having a sleepover that we were gonna pierce one another's ears. Now, my parents were never really super strict, so it didn't even occur to me that this was something that you maybe shouldn't do, or maybe you should ask your mom, or you should call in a professional. None of that. Parent Trap was one of my favorite movies, and I was just like, we're gonna pierce each other's ears. And I think I was about maybe like 17 or something like that at the time. So we were just like, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be fine, whatever. So we had sewing needles, and she was gonna do mine and I was going to do hers. And we took the sewing needles. We had ice for numbing, so we were like numbing the back of it and all this kind of thing. And once I felt like it was pretty numb, which pretty numb was just too cold for me to bear the ice, it wasn't numb, I told her she could go ahead and do it. So she takes the needle, and she is so sweet and so kind that I should have seen this coming. My friend takes the needle, she starts to push it through my ear. She gets through all of the layers of skin, and then she hits the cartilage, and she says, I can't hurt you, Delise, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't hurt you. And I'm like I could feel that she was up to the cartilage. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, give it to me. So I take the needle and I pierced my own cartilage. I pushed it all the way through. It was not easy. And yes, I heard it pop. And then I have the needle in there. I'm gonna look through one of my old cameras and see if I can find the picture, because we took a picture of it. It was so crazy, with just the needle, the little teeny sewing needle sticking in my ear. And then I had to take that all the way out and put the piercing back in. It was crazy. For the record, we did try to sanitize it and it never got infected. And so that kind of gave me, I think I would call it a false sense of confidence, because maybe like a year later, I pierced another friend's ear, because I pierced her ear, and then I pierced another friend's ear, again, with just like a random sewing needle, but that was the cartilage. I didn't know that it's possible that you could hit a vein and like really hurt yourself. I didn't know, or like a nerve and really hurt yourself. I didn't know. I was just doing it, and it worked out. Okay, so then my plan when I got my cartilage piercing was to get another piercing right underneath it, so that I could have what I actually have on this side, which is one hoop going through 2 holes. So I got my tragus next. Again, I got this piercing at sort of a pivotal point in my life. This time, I'm pretty sure I had been dating this guy that just wasn't the right guy for me, and we ended up breaking up, and that was fine. I mean, breakups are always kind of tricky, but it wasn't the end of my world. But I knew at that point, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm just gonna seek you with everything I have, and I'm gonna forget about everything else, and I'm just gonna barrel forward into adulthood, into singleness at the time, into life with you, and whatever it is, like, I'm committed to you, we're just gonna do this, this is my life now. You know, and I was kind of just like taking it by the reins, I think. And so it just felt like a really big decision, because before I was trying to control things and just a lot of little things in my heart that I needed to just lay down before the Lord. And so I got my tragus pierced. I remember I went with my friend Rebecca, and she got her nose pierced that day, and I got it done officially the right way. And I'm really glad I paid someone to get that done, because again, that's one of those things where I'm pretty sure you could get paralyzed if they hit the wrong nerve, and so you really want to be sure. I would definitely strongly recommend that you get someone who's a professional to pierce your tragus. That is just an area of your ear that you really don't want to play with. You want to know that whoever you're going to is a professional, that they know what they're doing. I personally like to go to people who have a lot of piercings, because I feel like they know the process and they've been through the process enough that I could actually ask them questions and they could really answer them for me. So I went to a professional for that one, and I have no regrets. So then the next piercing that I got was my third hole over here. So like I said, I've got an orbital in that one, and that just basically means a continuous hoop. And originally I was thinking I wanted an orbital on this side underneath my cartilage piercing, but once I got my tragus, I realized that if I got another piercing over there, my ear was just gonna look kind of heavy, and my face would look sort of lopsided. At least that's how I felt. So I decided to get a third hole over here instead, and my friend Morgan was actually the one who just took a piercing gun that I think she bought from Walmart, and she just pierced my ear for me, and that was simple, easy, never got infected. To get my orbital, I measured the distance between my two holes, and then I just went online and I looked for a continuous hoop. When I got it, I just sort of opened it up with some pliers, and it took forever, but I weaved it through both holes, closed it, and I have not taken it off since. That was years ago, and I really don't want to take it off. I like it. I think it's really unique. Yeah, I really like that piercing a lot. So then I got my nose pierced. When I was dating Evan, my husband, he and I had a long distance relationship, so we spent a lot of time on the phone, and we were just talking about different things. And one day we started talking about nose rings and how we think they look really cool on girls and guys, and we decided that we were going to both get our noses pierced after we got married. Now, there's a place in Genesis when Isaac and Rebecca are kind of falling in love, where Isaac gives Rebecca a nose ring as one of the gifts that he gives her. It's kind of how he proposed to her. I just saw that and I thought it was beautiful. I know that's definitely something that's from Hebrew culture, and then there are a lot of other cultures where nose rings are significant and they equate to marriage or something like that, and so sort of like a wedding ring. So I just thought that would be so cool if we both got them. And then as time went forward, Evan started dreaming and planning and really thinking more long term for his life, and so he was like, you know what, I think I want to be a businessman. I think I want to wholesale. I think I want to do, you know, rental properties, investment properties, and the whole nose ring thing is just really not fitting my vibe. And so I was like, are you serious? Because if you see him, you would know, like, he's got a good nose for this, and it's rare to have a man who has good nose for a nose ring. So I was just so annoyed. But yeah, so he decided that he didn't want to get one, and I was like, well, maybe he'll change his mind. And the day that we got back from our honeymoon, we just decided to go ahead and get it done. We didn't even go home. We went straight to the tattoo shop, and I got my nose pierced, and he did not get his nose pierced. And literally a couple weeks later, it got infected. And I was like, okay, what is going on here? Because mind you, I pierced myself. Why is my nose getting infected? I really didn't understand why. I'm not allergic that I know of to any metals. I thought that I got a safe metal. I went to the same person who pierced my tragus. You know, it didn't make sense to me. And so I was kind of confused. I started trying all kinds of home remedies. And nothing was working. We just eventually had to take it out because it got a little puffed up, and I don't want to gross you out, but it looked like a keloid and it looked gross. So I took it out and I was just like, oh, because like this one symbolized my marriage. I was so mad. And so I was like, okay, hey, Samson. So maybe 6 months later, after it totally healed back up, I was like, okay, babe, I really want to get this done again. What do you think? We talked about it and decided that we'll try one more time, and if it doesn't work, we're just gonna give up. Because something to know if you're gonna re-pierce a section of your body is that there's now scar tissue there. Hi, Baba. There's scar tissue there. So piercing a place the second time is even harder than the first time, and it really hurt. So I was just like, okay, this could be disastrous or this could be great. A good thing though was that I did kind of want it a little higher than what the original person did, and so come on, you want to stay with me? So because I did want it a little bit higher, that was kind of gonna be a good thing, and maybe it wouldn't be in the exact same spot. That's what I was thinking. So what's wrong, Samson? What's wrong? You want to come sit with me? I'm trying to record this video. Here, come on. Actually, I don't really want you in this chair. We'll see what he does. You gotta stop whining. So Evan took me and, oh my gosh, this video is just not gonna come together. Gonna do this. So Evan took me and I got it done again for the second time, and again, it got infected. And of course, by that time, I was like terrified too, because my skin is really prone to scarring. And so I was like, am I about to have a huge, disgusting scar on my face for the rest of my life? Like, what am I doing to myself? And so anyway, one day I was at home and my mom said to me, Delise, I think you should go to the dermatologist. And honestly, I hadn't even thought of that. So I went, and that was the best advice anyone could have ever given me, because the dermatologist gave me a steroid cream. It basically was the consistency of Neosporin. Put it on my nose regularly, as prescribed, and it, as prescribed, I am so tired, y'all. And it worked like a charm. Like, it went away in 2 weeks. I think I didn't have any more discoloration, redness, anything. I think the problem was just that my nose needed to generate skin cells a little bit more quickly than normal to get ahead of the irritation that the foreign object was causing. That's what I did. If you are having trouble with an infection or something like that and you're looking for a good solution, I would definitely recommend you just go to the dermatologist. It's a skin doctor. That's what they do, and they can give you something that will be helpful. I know I'm not really one of those people who likes to run to the doctor super quickly, but sometimes you just need a little extra help, and it will actually expedite a process that could be really problematic and painful. And so I'm really glad that I went to the dermatologist, and that was the last piercing that I've gotten. I'm actually thinking about getting something else. I don't really know what, but I know that I just really like piercings. I know that if I get another piercing, when I get another piercing, it's gonna be something that's subtle and again has some significance to me. I'm not trying to over spiritualize any of my piercings, but I do know that I like things to have significance and meaning more than just, oh, I like this, I think it's cute. Just because since it's actually a semi-permanent part of my body, it can give me a daily reminder if I let whatever I'm doing give me that reminder. And so I hope that you really enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear about your piercings. If you've got any horror stories, love to hear them. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.
Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Say hi. Thanks for watching. You say thanks for watching, everyone. So sweet. You're sweet.